Ever get this feeling? Like you're walking down a street, any street, and it just hits you. Time has totally stopped here.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like you've stepped back into another era or something.
That's Aguilar de Campoo, right?
Yeah.
At least that's the vibe I get from everything we've researched. This little Spanish town tucked away on the Camino de Santiago, all cobblestone streets and ancient churches, peaceful, you know?
Peaceful, sure. But what if I told you this place has a mystery hanging over it? One that's haunted folks for decades.
See, that's what gets me every time.
Mm-hmm.
You have a place, seems quiet, timeless even, and bam, something happens that just rips that peacefulness apart. That's what we're looking at today. The case of Virginia and Manuela, two best friends who vanished.
Mm-hmm.
Gone. Just like that back in '92.
It's that juxtaposition, right? Aguilar de Campoo, they made it a UNESCO Geopark, this huge honor, all about preserving history, this sense of permanence. And then you have this incredibly unsettling disappearance. It makes you wonder what secrets lie beneath the surface of such a seemingly tranquil place.
Okay, so picture this. It's 1992, and Virginia and Manuela are inseparable, typical teenagers. Weekends roll around. They're itching to escape the quiet of Aguilar de Campoo. Head for the bright lights, you know.
Reynosa, right. That was their spot.
Exactly, Reynosa. Bit more going on, bit more excitement for two young girls. Especially the discos. They loved hitting the discos. One in particular, Coco's, seemed to be their favorite haunt.
You know what always gets me? That detail about them loving the discos, it just emphasizes how normal they were. Full of life, raring to go, makes their disappearance all the more jarring, doesn't it? One minute they're planning a night out, the next, gone. Vanished.
Right. And from what we've gathered, their personalities were pretty different. Virginia was more reserved, while Manuela, well, she had a bit of a rebellious streak.
Your dad's out of the picture, right?
Yeah, mysteriously absent. We don't have all the details on that, but it just adds another layer to this whole thing, don't you think? It was April 23rd, a Thursday, when it all went wrong. Think about that. Just a regular day, right?
Except it wasn't, not for Virginia and Manuela.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This was 1992, remember?
Yeah.
Dave Castile and Leon, a huge celebration in Spain. For those two girls, it was just another day they were heading out to Reynosa. Little did they know.
Chilling, isn't it? That thought. We go about our routines and then...
Gone.
It really underscores the fragility of life, doesn't it? How quickly things can change.
No kidding. And, you know, the way they got to Reynosa, it's wild to think about now. They hitchhiked.
Common back then, though, wasn't it? Even for young girls. Part of life, nobody thought twice.
Hard to imagine now sending your kids off like that. Different times, for sure.
Yeah. More innocent in a way, but the risks were real, and those haven't changed.
A witness saw them getting into a car, a white seat 127, near this cookie factory. But here's the thing, and this always stuck with me. The car was already full.
Full, meaning what? There were others in there.
Full. So who were these people? Just being nice, giving a ride on a holiday? Or
Why was it planned? You have to wonder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what makes this case so baffling, right? Every detail, you start questioning everything.
Mm-hmm.
Hours go by, nobody's heard from them. Now the panic sets in, right? Families, friends, the whole town, everyone's out searching. No sign.
And back then, forget about cell phones, social media, any of that. It was word of mouth, posters, hoping against hope someone saw something.
Imagine being those families, though.
Hmm.
The waiting,
Hmm.
the not knowing. It's just...
And get this, the authorities, they had this rule, 48 hours, you had to wait 48 hours before they'd officially declare them missing.
You're kidding. 48 hours.
Can you imagine the agony? Every second must have felt like an eternity.
It's unthinkable.
Hmm.
And we think we've got it bad now if our phone dies for an hour.
It really highlights how procedures have evolved, thank goodness. Nowadays, those initial hours are crucial in a missing person case. They don't wait around like they used to.
And as if the waiting wasn't bad enough, imagine this. People start reporting sightings of Virginia and Manuela all over Spain.
Oh, I bet. Classic case of grasping at straws, right? Any glimmer of hope.
Totally. Some sightings even came from France. People just wanted them to be okay. And then it gets even weirder. They find these sacks near a bridge.
Sacks? Like, what was in them?
Full of skulls. Like human skulls. You can imagine what everyone was thinking, right?
Oh, absolutely. Chilling. Did they ever figure out who?
It was a huge blow. Turned out to be from the Spanish Civil War. Remains just left there. Another layer of tragedy to this whole thing.
Wow. Talk about a punch to the gut. So much for that lead.
And then, to make matters worse, another case pops up around this time, totally overshadows Virginia and Manuela in the media, the Alcácer girls.
Yeah. That one was huge, wasn't it? gruesome details really captured the public's attention.
Exactly. Same kind of story, young girls vanish, but for some reason Alcázar just took over the news cycle.
Well, they caught those guys, right? Got convictions. People find comfort in that, I think. Closure, even if it's the worst possible outcome.
Sad but true. And meanwhile, Virginia and Manuela are still out there, somewhere, and nobody knows what happened. 5 years later, 1997, there are 2 more reported sightings, both in Madrid this time.
Madrid. That's interesting. Any connection to the city, family, anything?
Nothing concrete. But here's the thing. Both these sightings mention Manuela having blue hair.
Okay, that's pretty specific. Makes you think, was it a disguise? Or just someone who looked like her?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? We just don't know. And after years of searching, dead ends. The case is officially closed in 2006.
Officially, sure. But you can never truly close a case like this, can you? Not really.
Especially for the families. Virginia's mother, she always said, until I see their bodies, I will keep believing they are alive. Just heartbreaking. And then, 2018, get this, they find a jawbone.
A jawbone.
Ebro Reservoir, not too far from where the girls disappeared. DNA testing, everything, the whole 9 yards. Media goes nuts, of course.
I can imagine, after all those years, to have that glimmer of hope.
Turns out it wasn't a match. Not Virginia, not Manuela.
Oh, man. That's rough.
Just another twist in this whole saga.
So here we are, decades later, still no answers. What happened to those girls? Was it someone they knew? A random act? We just don't know. Makes you think about all the things we take for granted, doesn't it? Safety, security, knowing our loved ones are okay.
It really does. The not knowing is almost the worst part.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe someone out there knows something. Maybe someday we'll finally learn the truth of what happened to Virginia and Manuela.